boy, now that we've brought sisters together, look up.
Ooh. RuPaul.
We talked in the main show in depth about what it was like to have that face-off with RuPaul.
Yeah.
But tell me what you think. How does that relate to how you feel now, and how did that inform your experience on Drag Race?
Well, you should never just like judge somebody or change your opinion about somebody over one instance. Like, I still love, admire, and respect her as I always have. And yeah, I mean, she is who she is. She is the queen of this amazing hit phenomena, and she did a lot of favors for me, you know what I mean? And even in that moment, she did me a favor. She kind of snapped me out of it and made me wake up a little bit. And she's got a job to do. And I think, like, for me, I thought the only way that I could go on Drag Race and win was to, like, become best friends with the judges somehow, or like build some kind of relationship with them.
Right.
And when, like, this first second you walk on a set, you realize that is just simply not even going to come close to happening.
Because they're like also 50 feet from you or whatever, too.
Right. And there's no like, let's have chummy BFF conversations when the cameras aren't rolling. Like, it is so not that at all.
Right.
And that is not something to take personally. She's just got a job to do, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Have you ever had any other moments with RuPaul post-show?
No.
Just him zipping by on a bicycle or roller skates at DragCon?
Pretty much, yeah.
He just like, honk, honk, wake up, girl, and ran off.
There is one thing that I have not discussed at all, ever, about RuPaul.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. So I know that I was not perfect on the show. And I know that I was distracted about something. And it took me a long time to come to terms with where all of it came from, and I know exactly where it came from.
Oh.
And it happened, it was the first time I ever saw RuPaul, and it was on set. And we did this thing before we started filming the show, where we all had to, it was mortifying. We all had to go to like a studio and record one of RuPaul's songs.
Oh, right. It was CoverGirls era.
Yeah,
where y'all had to all do your versions of the song.
Yeah, like we all had to re-sing her track and whatever, and it was like horrible. Anyway, so we walk through, I see RuPaul, and I'm just like blown away. I can't believe she's here. It was a surprise that she was there. We didn't know she was going to be there.
While you were recording your version.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
what song did they make you do?
not Geronimo. Thank God. Oh God, is it horrible that I can't even remember?
That's all right. Apparently you're not playing it in your sets.
Holy shit. And I remember Bob the drag queen, when we were working together, she would like come through the room playing it on her phone, like my version of the song. I can't even think of a song. I'm
so you were saying RuPaul surprised you.
So, yeah, so as I was saying, I felt like the only way for me to like get any way on the show was to build some kind of relationship with the judges. And you know, we were filming a segment, just kind of chatting, banter, whatever together, and then the camera went down for a moment, and I turned to RuPaul and I said, oh my God, like, I just want to say thank you so much. Like, it is such an honor to be here, such a pleasure to meet you. You have no idea, like, what this, just giving her, you know, that whole, like, everything I've ever wanted to say to her. And she turned to me and she said, nothing you say matters unless that camera is rolling. And that broke my spirit.
Wow.
And that is the reason why I had one foot in, one foot out the entire time I was on that show.
Interesting.
And maybe that's me being petty. Maybe that's me thinking that it should have been something that I never should have expected it to be. But in that moment, it was like so heartbreaking. Right. Because I like idolized her, worshipped her, And I felt like it was just so disrespectful. And it was just so, I had never even been to LA before. It was just so Hollywood.
It's very hardcore.
Rotted, like gross thing. Like, how could you say that to somebody who is just obsessed with you? You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine turning to somebody ever and saying something like that. And you know what? It is what it is. And but that really explains a lot of my like attitude on the show.
Interesting.
And that's why I didn't give a shit when it came down to that moment.
Right. So that was the prelude that we didn't know about to Do I Have Something on My Face?
Yeah, and I have not discussed that once.
Wow.
Yeah, and here it is.
Exclusive, Lady Red! Get the air horn out, exclusive! Well, thank you for sharing that tea. That is...
Hot.
Gotta get every drop. Ooh, it's burning my lips.
Bitter.
Oh, Pearl, that was the tea, honey. That was something we did not know.
Could you imagine?
Yes, I mean, yes, I could imagine. It would be horrifying because you're giving your love, because RuPaul has meant so much to all of us.
Well, she, call me mother is her thing.
She's a stern mother.
And, you think that it's going to be all love. Mm-hmm. You think you're going to be, like, taken care of a little bit.
Embraced.
And, like, embrace, like, let me, like previously on the show, before it had turned into all these seasons and it was such a job for her, like, she really seemed to care about the contestants and give them advice. And, like, if they were royally screwing up a challenge, you kind of laugh and say, oh, just have fun with it. Get out of your head. La, 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 la. And then I thought it would be more like that, but the trajectory just changed so much by the time I got there, and it was foolish of me, I guess, to think that we were gonna like have a relationship of some kind. I guess, Give me that.
Would you like to do a grand fan snap for the end there?
Oh, it's so heavy.
It is. It's such a delicate lady.
I'm so weak.